Hey, welcome back everyone. We are now getting closer to the end of April of this year as we get closer to the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show that's going to debut on May 27th. We also have the official full-length trailer on the horizon, as well as a handful of promo images that are about to drop that will give us a brand new look at Darth Vader, and of course Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, we are currently in a very exciting time for Star Wars, given that we have a lot of projects in the works that are in the pipeline by Disney, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, and others out there. We have a lot of things happening at the same exact time, given that they are trying to really create a good flow of Star Wars material. Whether it's Jedi focused or bounty hunter focused, it doesn't matter. They want to focus on Star Wars TV shows really coming out every single year, with the new movies that are also going to become a big deal as well in the next couple of years as well. So on top of all of this, what's really intriguing has a lot to do with Disney CEO Bob Chapek. Now, we already know that the Ahsoka Tano series is about to begin filming in give or take 3 to 4 days. There's a lot of work being done on the show. You know, Rosario Dawson has been training for the role of Ahsoka Tano, as well as Hayden Christensen training for the role of Anakin Skywalker once again, since he will be doing more Clone Wars sequences, as well as a Force Ghost coming back into the equation for the very first time with dialogue. So that's another important note. Now, on top of all of this, what's really intriguing has a lot to do with what Disney CEO Bob Chapek has planned for Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, and exactly what's been going on behind the scenes over at Disney and Lucasfilm when it all involves the Star Wars universe as a whole. So with that being said, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now preparing to develop their new Star Wars TV shows and movies that will be announced at this year's Celebration event, it's described that creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are also actively reviving many elements of Star Wars legends to be used in their new projects. Now, it's described, however, that recently Disney has formed a detailed plan on how to fire Kathleen Kennedy properly and replace her with the new president of Lucasfilm. Currently, Disney CEO Bob Chapek's plan, and his big plan, is to break Kathleen Kennedy's contract as president of Lucasfilm, given that most of the board and the higher-ups already agree with Chapek that somebody else is needed now to regulate Star Wars. However, Chapek recently finalized the plan to make George Lucas as the president of Lucasfilm for the beginning of 2023 in order to fill in the role just after Kathleen Kennedy is planned to get terminated by the end of this year, that will go into full effect in 2023. However, the full plan behind George Lucas becoming the new president has a lot to do with the fact that they will be allowing Lucas to change the roadmap of the franchise, essentially gaining control over which projects release before and or after other projects in the Star Wars timeline, and exactly how they will be marketed. Now, Lucas is labeled to become the new president of Lucasfilm, temporarily speaking, by the beginning of 2023, with Kathleen Kennedy out of the picture. A lot of this is rooted to the fact that, of course, her troubles with the Acolyte TV show and Project Vortex, which is described to be another High Republic-oriented project, is exactly what is making Disney going through with this and filling in the role of the Lucasfilm president with somebody else. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, the thing about Kathleen Kennedy having a lot of issues with the Acolyte TV show is nothing new here. This has been going on for pretty much 1 year now. You guys may recall that the Acolyte TV series was announced quite a long time ago, and when I mean quite a long time ago, it was, over a year ago. And ever since then, they've been having a lot of trouble with the pre-production phase. They've been having a lot of trouble with all these different setbacks and firing different directors and co-writers coming on board of the series. And that's exactly why Leslie Headland as a writer has also been having a very tough time on this project, and why fans have been hearing so very little about all of this. There is one thing about this show that really is going to be very off-putting, I think, to a lot of fans, is that Kathleen Kennedy will actually have a cameo in the Acolyte TV show as an actual character. Yes, she's going to be in the series as a cameo, and that's one thing that I think a lot of fans are kind of just putting their arms up and walking backward and saying, alright, now this is going a little overboard. But the thing about this, alright, this major plan to get George Lucas in there temporarily, I know a lot of fans out there are going to be like, why not place him in there permanently? And there are two rooted reasons to all of this, which we will be going over in just a couple of seconds. We obviously know that George Lucas, alright, he knows Star Wars down to the core, as well as John and Dave Filoni. I mean, these three guys really know what the fans want. They know what the fans love and enjoy with this franchise. Moving on. So recently both Chapek and Lucas actually had a meeting together about the strategy to bring him in as the new president of Lucasfilm in an attempt to get things going early. Given that Lucas will be a co-writer for multiple new Star Wars projects, this is another reason why he will, of course, only be president temporarily. Another reason rooted to this is that even George told Disney that he is too old to run Lucasfilm in the long term, but in the short term to get it back on its feet and stable is fine for him, and that those are the plans that they are sticking with. So far, Kathleen Kennedy has been very angry over this decision by Bob Chapek and others. They have been they've been looking into, of course, Jon Favreau and locking him in to become the new president. However, as well as Dave Filoni, those two are not looking likely at this point, given that they will be busy with their Star Wars shows and all of that. And I brought this up numerous times. I always said that it's very unlikely that John and Dave are going to become the president of Lucasfilm, either or, because they have a lot of things on their plate. They have a lot of things going on with Star Wars TV shows, but hey, you know, for all we know, maybe they're going to drop that and become president, one or the other. Who knows? It's very possible. Now, though both Favreau and Filoni have been in the talks about taking the role of president regardless, and it's not off their mind, George Lucas is already set to co-write Star Wars Underworld and even a handful of other Star Wars TV shows for Disney Plus and more. This is set to give the fandom a fresh new take on the Star Wars franchise by introducing many new Legends characters in live-action form, as well as new ones in the mix. And that's another thing to really keep in mind here, is that George Lucas is going to be co-writing Star Wars Underworld. Now, a lot of you guys out there may be like, what in the world is Star Wars Underworld? This is going to be basically the direct sequel to Revenge of the Sith. It's going to take place right after the downfall of the Jedi and the beginning of the new era of the franchise, essentially, where the Empire takes over, and you have Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine ruling the galaxy, hunting down Jedi across the galaxy. It's going to focus on that. It's also going to focus on a lot of the bounty hunters and the criminal underworld with criminal syndicates. That's going to be another thing to look forward to in the Underworld TV show that he will indeed be co-writing. Now, the thing about Kathleen Kennedy here, she had it coming. I'm sorry, guys, but she had it coming for the longest time, and the Acolyte TV show and Project Vortex, I think, was the final nail in the coffin that this is somebody that's not going to learn from their mistakes. This is somebody that does not care about the franchise or the fans at heart. You know, I always view it like this. Star Wars is bigger than just a series of movies or TV shows or even merchandise. There's something very strong about it and spiritual about it, that it takes a lot of elements from real philosophy or real mythology and embeds it into entertainment. And that's exactly why it kind of is a bridge between what's real and what's entertainment. It really is something quite of its own thing. So yeah, let me know what you guys have to say about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.